And just seeing like how an idea can go to a 3D model, to fabricating it, and then actually having a tangible item, that's fun.
With us today is drafting and design engineering technology graduate Crystal Mantilla. Crystal is going to talk to us about her experiences as a student, as well as her new position working with the NASA Artemis Project and what she's doing to help us return to the moon. Well, first of all, for those who don't know, what is industrial design? They hear the words, drafting sometimes, but what is it?
So pretty much you work with an engineer. The engineer will do, calculations and all that, and then he'll tell you, hey, this information that I'm giving you, we need a product to do this or to solve this problem. Then I will go, I get that information, and then I go use my 3D software. I use SolidWorks, and then I start designing, modeling it, and from there, help with the manufacturing process, get in contact with vendors, and even get in the shop and start actually get hands-on experience.
So you're kind of like the liaison between the engineering department and like the fabrication.
Yes. So I'm the middleman. Like, hey, this drawing right here, and then work with me, and I'll work with the engineer.
When you first got into this, like you said, you didn't really know what you wanted to do. When you first got into it and you really liked it, what were you kind of hoping to do with a career? As you were learning, I guess.
Honestly, I was thinking, okay, this is better set of skills that I can earn more money, and I have 2 kids, need to provide for. And I was thinking, okay, well, I'll see what happens through here, what other doors will open. And then as I'm doing all these tasks, I'm like, I'm really liking this engineering. I want to learn more what materials to use, what not to use, and just seeing like how an idea can go to a 3D model, to fabricating it, and then actually having a tangible item. That's fun.
And then when it's all over with, you see what you're actually doing.
Yes.
This is an overall goal.
Oh, yes, and it will humble you. A lot of, mistakes and learning and so on.
Tell me why you decided to go into industrial design, because that's kind of an interesting field.
Actually, at the time, I was pretty lost. I've tried so many careers. I tried nursing. I tried human resources, business management, and it was just not my calling. And so at the time, I was working at a call center, and that is where I met my boyfriend, and we were both in the same space. Like, we need to figure something else. What can we do? Gain more skills. And so he has a few friends that actually went to ACC and then graduated with the same degree. And so they told him, like, hey, just try this out, give it a try and go on. When he went to school, I started, I would see his homework, and I was like, well, what is it? And then he told me about it, and I was just like, okay, that seems interesting. That seems something I just went there like blindly. I didn't know what. I was like, it seems cool. I like it. Let's do that, So yeah, I registered in that month, I registered in the semester. And then from there on, I just I love it. I like it. It's pretty cool. So it was really random, but
well, what was it about it though that you connected with? I mean, when you sat down and they were first teaching you this, what was it about it that just struck you?
I like that it's, different projects, different tasks. I like how you follow certain steps. Designing, I always been crafty. I always like doing art and stuff and just curious.
So now you're designing phalanges and
yes, yes, all kinds of stuff. So it's pretty fun. I like it.
So it was kind of a creative process then.
Yes, that was
but in a more technical, I guess, application.
Yes, more creative, and I follow pretty good with the steps, like step 1, step 2. That's my.
Oh, so it requires attention to detail and procedure.
I am
and
very
process.
detail oriented. Yes, I am very. I will get stuck in a detail and just but it helps in this in this kind of environment. So that got me to it.
Okay. When you finished, I think you finished right at when COVID started, right?
Yes, a little. I graduated in 2019 with in May. So it was I think it was a year before COVID.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now you're working at NASA.
Yes.
When you first took on this job, which by the way you took just out of the blue, you thought, well, I'll just try this. And now all of a sudden now you're working at NASA on the Artemis Project. What do you think about that? I mean, how does it have you ever taken a deep breath and just thought, wow, man, 4 years ago, I didn't know what I was even doing. And now all of a sudden I
walk in the hallways. I'm like, is this true? I'm so grateful. So I actually I'm with Jacobs Technology, and we're contractors that work at NASA Johnson Space Center. We provide engineering, technology, and science services for NASA's missions, leading to the human space exploration. And so on site, I work in the curation department. And our lab is called PEARL, like the jewel pearl.
Mm-hmm.
And that acronym stands for Planetary Exploration and Astromaterials Research Lab. Our lab pretty much aims to develop advanced curation methods for the sample return from the lunar surface through Artemis. And so pretty much we just want to answer questions how do we store these icy materials, how do we handle them, and then how we can eventually send them out to other researchers for their studies. So my role in this project is that I get the opportunity to work with and assist an engineer using my design skills.
So for somebody who's detail oriented, though, like I said, do you take a step back and realize like there's not a lot of people out there dealing with lunar ice?
Yes, it's just such an incredible experience, and like I said, very grateful for it. And it's exciting. It's like mind blowing, and then just if you're curious too, like what else is out there? Because I know for Artemis 3, the goal is to land the first woman astronaut, first person of color, and I believe an international partner. So that's excited to be part of it.
A lot of people hear these words around Artemis and they know that we're trying to return to the moon, but what is the project specifically?
The difference with this mission is that we are traveling to the moon's south pole and then explore their permanent shadow regions.
Okay. So places where Apollo didn't go to.
Yes, where it's never been. There were some like other missions where they saw imaging of frozen water or frozen ice, and so we want to investigate it more.
So do you feel like they're going to take some of the things that they learned in this project and try to apply it to maybe a future Mars mission?
Yes, that's the goal, to what we can learn from the moon to eventually leap over to Mars. I don't think so. That would be awesome.
Because everybody talks about like what's the plan to go to Mars and when. Like, I mean, do you feel like they're getting closer, or do you just feel like there's still many steps to go before they can even?
I believe there's many steps. We still have several steps for our missions, and then I'm sure they'll take some time.
So you went to school, you got your degree, and now you have a job that you just thought you would never get because you just never think, I'm going to end up working on a lunar mission or anything.
Yes.
So in the future, though, I know you went back to school. So what are you pursuing now?
So I came back to ACC to get my engineering degree and later transfer over to University of Houston, Clear Lake for my bachelor's in mechanical engineer.
Okay. So why that? I mean, you just weren't happy designing things. Now you want to take part in the engineering process too?
I'm very curious and I'm ambitious too. I want to do more and learn because I really enjoy it. And it's like I want to learn more. And then I see these other engineers that have so many years of experience, and I look up to them, and they inspire me. They really do. And I just like this field. Like I like being hands on. I like working in the shop. I started doing other tasks that were out of my scope. I learned how to assemble circuit boards, just a little bit of everything, and it's fun. Now I will say, whenever I was at ACC in 2017, 2 years before I graduated, I did work at a company that focused on product technology development, and that's where I gained a lot of experience. And like I said, I learned how the manufacturing process works, working with vendors, assembling circuit boards, and working in laboratory settings. So all that experience later helped me to get the job.
So what was it about the engineer? Was it, I guess, working with the engineers, though? Was that just kind of like you kind of thought, wow, they're like actually getting to look at the idea firsthand and then trying to figure out what the problem is before they get to you to make the application? So is it just kind of you enjoy the investigative process of it too?
Yes.
Just trying to understand?
Yes, the researching part of it, and it could be a headache, but once you figure it out, you get just a rush. For anybody that's listening out there that has a similar background as I do, definitely go check out Jacobs. You can go to the website, which is wehavespaceforyou.com, and then search on the careers, and then, hopefully all goes well.
So how do you feel like, like you were saying, like you kind of felt listless, you didn't know what you were doing, kind of, what has it meant to you to be able to find something now and end up where you're at? Relieving.
And it's funny because years ago I would take those career personality tests and engineering would always come up, but I was ignorant at the time. I was like, I can't do engineering. I'm not smart like that. That's just majority men, like I don't think so. Realizing that, okay, certain following tasks, the list 1, 2, I always liked math. So that was another clue. But yeah, I
All right. Well, I appreciate you talking to me today.
sweet.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
To read about these stories and more, visit allencollege.edu/news.